Today's episode is brought to you by my new book, Fuck Whales, Petty Essays from a Brilliant Mind. Available now at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or anywhere books are sold. Welcome to the best debate in the universe. Every debate in the universe, from America Online to things that don't rhyme. With over 2.5 million downloads, I'm your host, Maddox. With me is the Sergeant of Swag, Mikey Bolts.
Hey, Maddox.
Welcome back. And as always, the Maharaja of Moderation, Rucka Ali.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the show. Guys, exciting show today. We have a follow-up debate for the one we had last week, which was things that sucked most from the 90s. Today, we're going to be debating things that sucked most from the 2000s. With me this week is our guest, Kristen Brancaccio. Welcome back, Kristen.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on.
Welcome to the show. Kristen, for those who aren't familiar, for those who haven't heard the episode that you were on the first time,
Right.
You are a writer, producer, director, actor. You do it all.
Yeah, and also, I would say an OG member of the debate show.
Correct? An
Yep.
OG member of the debate show. Do you remember the debate we had the first time?
Nope.
Well, neither do I. And that was my way of pimping you into helping me remember.
Yep.
But it was a long ass time ago. You weren't even on the
I was here, but I
He
don't
was
remember.
here.
I don't remember what the debate was.
Yeah. It was really good, though.
Safe spaces?
Safe spaces? It may have been.
Something
yeah, we may have
about
debated
that.
Safe spaces. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, good. There, saved. Correct. Guys, I also want to introduce, before we get to the debate in just a moment, I have a new sound effect on the show. Now,
Ooh.
Kristen, since you were on last time, we have this one, which is if somebody makes a straw man argument, that's the sound effect we play.
I don't understand.
A straw man argument? So for those who
think I
aren't
get that.
familiar, a straw man argument
Yeah.
is a position that your opponent doesn't take, but you're arguing against, implying that he or she has taken that position.
Got it.
Right.
Oh, you must use that all
it's
the time.
It's the most worn out button on my
Is
laptop.
this just an hour of that music
Yeah,
on this show?
Well, it
Okay.
can sometimes function as I have nothing to respond to.
No, that's absolutely wrong.
That's not what I was expecting right there.
That's a great segue into the new sound effect,
Okay.
which is an ad hominem attack. So you will be hearing, I believe, both of those sound effects a lot
Yeah.
coming up on future debates and especially this show.
That's great.
Because today we're going to be debating what sucked most from the 2000s. Let's hear everybody's sound effects. Kristen, let's hear yours first.
Okie dokie.
All right, Mikey? Wrong! And Rucka. Here's mine. If you hear a buzzer from anyone at this debate, that means someone disagreed with someone else. We're pointing out a correction. We just want to interject.
Yep.
We want to point out a fallacy.
Yep.
Except you guys don't have those sound effects, just me. I'll be doing those. But let's get on to the debate. Kristen, as our guest this week,
Yes.
what sucked most from the 2000s?
I would like to posit the argument that the years 2000 to 2010, as far as what sucked most about that decade, was absolutely nothing. It was a perfect 10 years. I would say there were things that maybe were not perfect about that decade, and because we're human, and humans roam this earth, and there will never be a completely perfect decade. I would say one thing, probably the only thing bad about that decade, was the fact that Pluto is no longer a planet. Thank you.
Okay,
So that's the worst thing is Pluto, or is the worst thing is nothing?
The worst thing, there was nothing.
There was nothing bad. It's just that there's
No?
also nothing perfect.
Nothing
it was
bad in that decade?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Let's
go 9/11.
absolutely nothing
All right.
terrible happened.
I got
Yep.
this. I know.
Yes.
It's coming. Okay, I will posit this bad thing about the decade. I don't know if you guys remember, but 9/11. 9/11 was the.
How could I ever forget?
It is an unforgettable day. It's one of those. It's one of those days you never forget. So I would say that in response to nothing was bad in the decade. I would also say the worst terrorist attack in world history was a bad thing that happened during the
Right,
decade.
but 9/11 happened and it was shocking and everyone came together and we all were like, we're going to make change. We invaded a country. We started 2 wars in various countries.
Yes.
We had a response. We as a country bonded together and had a response.
It
Nowadays,
was a response.
nowadays,
Nowadays.
something terrible happens, like a terrorist attack and a school shooting. And what do? We just sit here for about 48 hours, debate gun control, and nothing happens.
Yeah, and then we move on to social media.
Well,
That's what we do, Kristen.
And then talk about the Kardashians.
Maybe the problem is that the terrorist attacks aren't happening with airplanes. Maybe once they start hijacking planes and flying them into stuff, we'll come together again.
Yeah, wouldn't that be passé, though?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think that terrorists are worried about what's in vogue. And before we continue, too, I want to say welcome back to Mikey Bolts.
Thanks,
now,
man.
you've been gone for a couple of episodes. You were sick, and then you also went to Florida to do the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Right? What did you do out there?
Yeah, I covered the NFL Pro Bowl. So the best players from both sides compete. And I was just running around like a kid at a candy store, getting to meet these guys and interviewing them and having a good time for Awesomeness TV. It was a gig with them.
Yes.
Yeah, what a baller. Dude, Kristen, have you worked with Awesomeness?
I haven't, but I've worked with many people who have worked with Awesomeness. I've had meetings at Awesomeness.
Yeah, I had meetings at Awesomeness too.
Like the thing to do.
This changed my reading habits, this meeting, because I was sitting in the waiting room, and Awesomeness TV, for those who aren't familiar, do a lot of children's programming on YouTube and that sort of thing. Yeah. In their waiting room is nothing but 17 magazine and like Teen Bop magazines. And so I picked one up and I started reading it. I read it cover to cover. It was amazing. I seek this out. I'm that weirdo who walks into a magazine
Not
store.
your normal demo for 17 magazine, but
this dude, this balding Armenian dude walks into a magazine shop, and he's just like, "Hey, where's your 17 magazines?" And they're like hitting the security button real quick under the table. But that shit is hilarious. I especially recommend reading the horoscopes because they're all written from the point of view. First of all, they're written by adults, which is creepy. It's like, 30, 40-year-old people writing these horoscopes for teens, but in the voice of a teen. Also, in the voice of a teen girl. So when I'm reading these horoscopes, I read mine, and it says, "You and your friend will go out and meet some dudes." I'm like, sweet. I love all my friends are dudes.
Gonna make more friends, gonna meet more dudes.
That shit's hilarious. I highly recommend everyone check out 17 magazine. It's the amount of comedy, unintentional comedy in these magazines is next level. And then the vocabulary. You have to study an entire vocabulary. Anyway, back to the 2000s though. So nothing was bad. I would posit that 9/11 was a bad thing. And then
interesting position to take.
Yeah. I you know what? We take the bold positions here.
Okay, hold on. Was that your thing?
That was my thing. 9/11.
9/11 is your worst thing?
I got other things too, but 9/11 is the top of my list.
And then Kristen says
Nothing.
But
I wanted to get out ahead of the argument that, it can't be perfect. No, we're human. We made decisions that maybe I don't agree with, such as deciding Pluto wasn't a planet. But overall, I wouldn't say it was a bad thing, just a difference of opinions.
Kristen, do you understand why Pluto is declassified as a planet?
Nope, don't know, don't care. Just know that when I was a teenager, that was the only planet I could remember to label in science class. And now all these students will struggle to remember where the heck Neptune is.
So a lot of people are pissed off at Neil deGrasse Tyson because he's the one who declassified it. Pluto was, he was at the observatory, I think, in New York, one of the observatories, and he's the one who said, you know what, Pluto's no longer a planet because we kept finding these Pluto-sized objects in that area of the solar system, and everyone's saying, we have a 13th planet, a 14th planet, a 15th planet, and he's like, no, guys, we're going nuts here. Kids can't remember this much shit. So let's dial it back. In fact, you know what? As a penalty, we're going to take Pluto off that list. But
that just seems so extreme.
No,
so extreme.
It wasn't classified as a planet because it was outside of the size, I believe, the size and...
Yeah, I think it was a size thing.
Yeah, it was a size thing. Yeah, it's not big enough. It's icy. And then we have that satellite that went over and mapped it. So now we have like a super detailed map of this thing that's not a planet. Worthless.
What if it was a planet? What do we need a map of it for then?
Yeah, we can't even get to Mars. What are we trying to do?
Science Corner of the Rocket. What you're asking me what the value is of having a map of a planet?
Tell me what the value is.
No, I'm asking you.
What?
I'm asking you. Do you not see the value in mapping a planet?
I mean, I guess every piece of information is valuable because it's better than ignorance.
Hey, there we
go.
go.
But is it worth sending a fucking spaceship across to the tip of the fucking solar system to get a map of a fucking planet? And then when it's not a planet anymore, then it doesn't become valuable?
Yeah, they just delete those files. As soon as Neil deGrasse Tyson made the declaration, someone at NASA just hit delete and it was gone.
Wow.
But no, so why does it bother you that it's no longer a planet?
I just feel like as a science student who struggled in science class in high school, Pluto was a softball. You know what I mean? It was like you got all the planets, you had to label them, you probably had to remember what order they were in the solar system, and it was pretty much like Earth and Pluto. Like those were your two shoo-ins.
Mars.
Everyone got Earth and Pluto, sometimes Mars. Everything else in between?
Jupiter.
No. Which one's Jupiter?
Saturn has the rings.
Saturn has the rings, and it was also, there was a video game
But I don't remember what order that's in. I couldn't be like list the order.
My astronomy teacher taught us like my awesome mother got us some pizza. It was like some like some way to remember.
So now you got to change that entire. So now we have an entire generation of young people, our generation, that has to like relearn a new phrase because Pluto's no longer a planet.
Maybe we focus too much on these planets anyway.
Oh God, how horrible! Unlike the thousands of people that were covered in rubble and ash on 9/11, and then doubled that fatality count when we invaded Iraq and Afghanistan. So 6,000 Americans died in that decade. But Pluto, that's a tough one.
Well,
that's a tough one. You got to
more
memorize.
like 8,000.
It was
like 5,000 in Iraq and then 3,000 in the World Trade Center.
Yeah, about. Yeah.
How many high school students are in America?
A lot more than that.
Yeah, there's more than that. Okay. Are we doing the math here and like calculating the amount of time that we have to
forgetting not having Pluto anymore is as a science
has
student,
a lot of angst.
Is about the same as dying.
Yeah.
Students are stressed out at astronomical proportions in this day and age.
Yeah.
True.
Go on,
How
Kristen.
can we compare?
I want to handle you a shovel for this hole.
Come on in, guys. Taking on water.
So I have a couple other things. Mikey, do you have anything that sucked from the 2000s before I go down my list? If your answer is the same as Kristen's, which is nothing.
I was a very positive kid growing up. So just being a part of this podcast, I'm always trying to turn my brain around from the 2000s because I was thinking about the things I liked.
Making you more negative.
So I'm trying to be more negative. So maybe if it comes up, but nothing right now.
See?
Mikey, if you try hard
I'm right.
enough.
I'm trying, Maddox. Just give me a sec.
Shall I list off the things that were awesome about 2000s, like just to prove?
Please. Tell me anything.
Kanye West making good music. We all know that's not happening anymore.
Oh.
I'm not sure it was happening before.
No, it was never happening.
Oh.
Correct. Rucka's correct.
Incorrect.
Yeah.
Trigger.
For once, we'll take Maddox's music opinion.
Thank you.
I guarantee you can't name one song he's done. Or two. If you're going to say the one Gold Digger song, then come up with one more.
Yeah, there's the Gold Digger song.
Okay. And I think it was 2010. No, it was earlier. Anyway.
Yeah, it was
doesn't
earlier.
matter,
It was earlier because he
Doesn't
hasn't made a
matter.
good song since 2010 for sure. So obviously Kanye West, you had the launch of all of the Apple products.
Yeah.
So you had the
There we
iPhone,
go.
the iPod,
Mhm.
the iMac, which you can't argue are clearly the superior
True.
brand.
True.
Holy shit. Kristen,
Yep.
our own Rucka in studio, who's an Apple boy,
Yeah.
just bought a PC because you can't stream shit on Apple
Can't
products.
stream shit.
They're
I got
garbage.
a PC laptop because I
What
want
year is it? What year is it? Oh, it's 2018. We're talking about the 2000.
Yeah.
Even in especially in the 2000s, and there was no video games on Apple products. You can't play video games. Their fucking phones
I'm not a
suck.
gamer.
You
I
can't
didn't
replace
care.
their batteries. They weren't waterproof. They still don't have wireless charging.
Yeah, but
which
the
people are like, what would I use that for?
iPod. You had music in your pocket. Revolutionary.
Yeah.
What did you have? A Zune?
No, Zunes suck. I had just
Yeah.
a cell phone. Everything plays MP3s. Everything.
Now it does.
Now it does.
Not
back
back
then it
then.
didn't.
You can't spit and not hit an MP3 player.
Back then.
Fucking, they're just loading that shit up and
What
everything.
part of back then don't you understand?
Back
Talking about the 2000s.
even in
Yes,
2000,
I
had a
agree.
fucking
I
Nokia
agree
phone.
that Android and PC emulated what Steve Jobs invented. I agree that you guys copied us.
Wrong.
See?
You know what?
What was the straw
yeah,
man?
what?
then?
I don't know.
Because that's not an argument I'm making.
All right.
But I will say this.
Yeah.
He's correct in that Android did copy a lot of features from the iPhone, which I hate that they did that. Apple made the entire tech industry worse with this fucking touchscreen bullshit, and to this day I hate them. I hate touchscreens. They don't work well. I got one on this laptop. I don't use it ever. You've got one on your tablet, and it's
Yeah.
just...
I'm using it right now.
Trigger.
Yeah, oh,
Use the
here.
touch
Let me
screen.
press this flat surface when I'm angry. That's stupid. I want to hit a button. I want to hear it click.
I wish you could bring back flip phones. That was another great thing about the 2000s. I just
What?
realized flip phones.
Flip phones.
Miss
Yeah.
them. See? Told you.
Oh, okay.
Great thing
Yeah.
about the 2000s. You're proving my point.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I had a Nokia E90. And if you guys haven't seen
That was
this
your
fucking
mistake.
phone, let me tell you.
Yeah.
This Nokia E90 was the most amazing phone. Still better than every phone I've ever used today.
Okay.
It had, first of all, 2 screens. And it was a flip phone and a full keyboard. I'm talking control. I'm talking space bar. I'm talking pipe. A backslash, and I used
A
every
chimney.
single key. Might as well. It had everything.
You could raise a
Mikey.
family of 8 in there.
This keyboard was amazing, and the battery lasted 3 days on one charge. And the CPU was so powerful, I was able to play full OpenGL Quake, and it had network mode with Bluetooth. Yeah, I know that.
Did he say GL Quake?
OpenGL.
That is.
What does that mean?
it's a it's a graphics engine. All right, that
So
renders
what I'm
it.
getting is that
wow.
the 2000s were awesome for phones.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
those
will-
keyboards that
All right, I'll
slide
give you
out
that.
of the phone.
I shouldn't bolster your case. But
Well, hold on. What case?
Well, so Kristen's saying that all the Apple products came out. I would say that's a bad thing.
Oh.
No, what?
Yeah, a scourge on the tech industry.
Dude, it was
Scourge.
revolutionary.
Yeah,
Getting that
revolutionarily
iPod,
bad.
you could have thousands of songs in your pocket anywhere you went.
Yeah.
Just changed the way that we looked at technology and the direction technology was going.
Wow, great!
You
What a
can't
revolution!
argue.
You know, not all revolutions are good, Kristen. There's the communist revolution. All right, not a good one.
Well,
Then stop trying to repeat it here.
You know what? Fuck you. And all of them. All of them. Rucka, do you got anything that sucked from the 2000s?
Yeah, the anti-drug PSAs.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Those
Yes.
kind of came from the 80s, though. That was the Reagan era shit. What anti-drug PSAs were there in the 2000s?
A lot. The harmless ? For marijuana. Harmless. Like these two guys are sitting in their dad's study, one of their dad's study, and they're just sitting around stoned as fuck, and like, one of them, oh, what are you doing later? I don't know, man. And then one of them like picks up a gun. He's holding a pistol, and his friend goes, "What is that loaded?" The guy goes, "No." Just pulls the trigger. Bam. Harmless.
what? I don't remember this.
Another one of the anti-beer, anti-alcohol commercials was like they're having a house party, and and like everyone's trying to like get into the party somehow. Like this one Asian kid is like holding a guitar, and they're like looking through the peephole,
yeah.
and the guy's like holding a guitar. He's like, "Come on, let me in!" Like people are actually gonna show up, and they're not gonna let him in unless you got something cool. And like at the end, this guy's holding like a 6-pack of beer or something, or a case of beer. It's probably like a 6-pack, because that's a party.
Yeah,
The party's
yeah.
getting
You got
started.
your 6-pack.
He's like holding some beer, and like the door opens, and like this dude's like he's like dancing with like 4 hot chicks, and he's like, "Sorry, bro, gotta lose the beer." Like closes the door.
So that was supposed to be anti-booze? Is that the part?
Yeah, it's like you can't party with the cool kids if you're gonna have alcohol.
Oh no, that guy's got booze. Should we
Well,
let him
they
in?
were
No.
you know what? Actually, they were setting an example, and we laughed.
Yeah.
But guess what happened? The next generation came along, and they're more straight edge and
Do you think
well behaved.
You think this generation is more straight edge and less willing to do drugs and
I
alcohol?
think statistically they're like they're better behaved, but they probably do harder drugs that are like prescribed to them. Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what the cool kids, right? The cool drugs now are like painkillers, right?
Yeah.
Is that the thing?
Oxy.
Yeah, Oxy and Klonopin, and they're really addictive drugs, right?
Totally.
Yeah, they can fuck you up. I had a friend's brother get addicted to painkillers. It fucked up his whole life. Went to jail, all sorts of things. So I would say had the 2000s not put this lame stigma on alcohol, we'd still be drinking booze and everyone would be cool and partying all the time.
Be drunk right now.
Remember the fucking Budweiser dog? Spot? What was that?
I didn't-
Budweiser?
I
No,
didn't grow up
they
with
had
the-
the frogs.
I didn't grow up with the
Oh,
TV,
Mackenzie.
so I
The
don't know.
Mackenzie. What was it? It was a cool dog.
Budweiser was the
Yeah.
that was it. And then the horses on the
Oh,
Super
the horses.
Bowl.
Yeah, the horses I know.
I don't think they had a dog.
That commercial is made by
I
a
don't
guy
know
named Scott Martin Brooks,
Okay.
which we may have on the show at some point. But that commercial like put him on the map. That it blew up. Yeah.
I'd
Anyway,
say so, yeah.
So what were we saying about the dog and how the 2000s were cool and nothing was wrong with it?
Yeah, so I mean, I could just keep going on. Other stuff that happened in the 2000s. Barack Obama was elected. Would love him or hate him. First black president. Pretty iconic.
Bill Clinton was the first black president.
That's what they say.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah, it's undisputed. Trigger. Okay.
Agree to disagree on that one. You also have, so you could say that Vladimir Putin being elected in the early 2000s was a negative thing, but I would argue, think about the fact that
Well, he did give us Trump.
Handed us.
the
Trump.
Russian people no longer have to make a ton of decisions for themselves. Think about how much stress that takes off of them, having Vladimir Putin as a dictator in charge of them, making all their decisions for them. They don't have to choose what religion they want to be because there's no freedom of religion. They don't have to choose who they want to love because you're not going to be gay. Like, think about that.
Kristen, this is the first positive argument I think I've ever heard for authoritarianism. And I think that that's an unimpeachable argument. You cannot argue that you have he is saving you decisions to be made.
For sure. Which
So
which we know alleviates stress.
So the
decision making is stressful.
Yeah. So the people in Russia are just a little bit less stressed. They're a little bit more stress free. They're really
Compare
chill.
that to the American young people who are stressed out because they're failing science after having to learn more planets.
No one in
Well,
America.
less
Less planets,
Less
but
planets, yeah.
really more because they have to learn the other
Wait
ones,
a
and they
second.
don't have Pluto there to
So
help
it's
them.
one less thing to have to remember. So as an aggregate in the 2000s, everyone became less stressed. Bingo, because Pluto was no longer a planet.
No, because Pluto was the easy one to remember.
Wait, what am I even arguing? I'm arguing that I'm arguing. Okay.
Yeah,
anyway.
okay, but even with that, yeah, great. 2000s were still great.
Well, I got another thing. The rise of the Kardashian empire. Boo. Garbage. Really, Kim came to prominence. She was the first one, right? That kind of blew up on the scene.
Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton
Preceded them.
But from the Kardashians.
Okay, yeah.
But they were friends, right? The Kardashians and the Paris.
Well, she was like her assistant.
I didn't know this until I watched that HBO documentary about, or that series about O.J. Simpson.
Aren't they like your culture's?
Disciples.
Yeah, aren't they like your heroes?
Don't fucking Mike your culture me with this bullshit.
What?
Do you take?
They're not an
do you take-
Armenian icon.
Do you take ownership of every American?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm
great.
proud.
Great. So no, I don't give a shit that they're Armenian.
Mm-hmm.
They're not all as acclaimed as me. But yeah, the Kardashians came to prominence, and it was that sex tape that did it for Kim, and it had to have been leaked intentionally because I've never seen a more disappointing sex tape.
So lame.
It's so lame, right? You barely saw anything, and it was like a very artful, tasteful sex tape. I hated it. I hated it so much. I was angry.
How did it compare to Paris Hilton's? Would you say?
Least, Paris Hilton's at least was like, you had the night shot. It looked like somebody was recording this, and then when they in the dark with the night vision or something like that. I never saw the full Paris Hilton sex tape. I only saw like clips and pieces that.
Just the
some
night
parts of
vision
it.
So the sex tape was with Ray J, which is Brandy's brother.
Who?
Oh,
Yeah,
Brandy,
Rapper?
the singer. She was Moesha.
Okay.
Okay.
she was in that Cinderella movie.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
she was in the sitcom Moesha,
Yeah.
which is like a sitcom that all the kids were into.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah. I know. Yeah,
you know what else happened in the 2000s?
What?
The show Punked. When
Yeah.
when Brandy and her
Iconic.
brother Ray J were getting rolled by a fake cop, like you hear them mic'd up in the car because she doesn't know that Ray J is punking her, and Brandy goes, "Oh, good, the cop is black. It's cool, he's black." And like the cop walks over to them, he's like, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And they're like, "Oh, sorry for speeding, whatever." And he's like, "Okay, we've got a problem." And she starts crying. She's like, "Oh, come on, you're black. You seen us on TV. You know we good kids."
Yeah. Okay.
So
I guess
no
that sucked.
discussion of the 2000s would be complete without that.
Agreed.
That scene from Moesha.
From Punked.
Punked.
It was
of
real
course,
life.
Yeah.
It was real life.
Great. Oh, good. I'm glad. This is great. You guys are making good points, good arguments.
Yeah.
Well, I got something that really sucked from the 2000s. Twitter. What? How am I wrong?
The first person to ever reach 1 million followers happened in
Ashton
2000. Ashton Kutcher.
Was it really?
Yep.
Creator of Punked.
Creator of Punked. Full circle.
Yeah.
Boom, baby.
What are you guys even arguing for?
I don't know.
The
I'm just trying to
2000
help.
Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton,
Leave it to the audience to decide.
Yeah.
Ashton Kutcher. I've only walked out of, I think, 3 movies in my life. And one of them, the first one I ever walked out of, was Dude, Where's My Car? I hated that movie so much. Mikey's giving me a look.
Can't believe
like,
that hasn't come up yet.
yeah. I walked out of Dude, Where's My Car? And I went up to the
Did you ask
attendant,
for
the
money
cashier.
back?
I did, yeah. I said, listen,
You're that guy.
I've never done this before. I swear, I walked up to her. I said, I'm not that kind of guy. I've never done this before, but it was so bad. And she stopped me mid-sentence. She cut me off. She goes, I know. And then she's like, look, I can give you a refund or a ticket to see another movie. And I said, I'm here. I have the afternoon off, so I'd rather just go see another movie.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, Castaway's playing with Tom Hanks. I said, okay, I'll go see that. I went to see Castaway with Tom Hanks,
Okay.
and I got laid that night.
Nice.
Oh, another great
Yeah.
thing. See, 2000s are
Hey.
great. What do you mean your bad things happened in the 2000s? Sounds like it was a great decade for you.
That was the last time I got laid that decade. Because she didn't like Castaway, and she was upset about, dude, where's my car?
It was 2003.
Yeah. Dude, where's my car? It was 2001. And
sorry, Maddox.
Or 2, maybe. Latest.
Sorry.
And I'm surprised that movie hasn't come up yet as like the worst thing of the 2000s.
Yeah, Dude, Where's My Car was so bad.
My defense, I've never seen it.
So bad.
So I could not have formed my argument with that in mind.
Honestly.
I just like to defend myself there.
Yes.
Honestly, there's worse movies out there.
Then Dude, Where's My Car?
Yeah. And by the way, don't brag about having only walked out of 3 movies when there's like 5 movies you've actually watched all the way through.
Yeah, but that's not the same as walking out of a movie.
But don't act like only 3 movies I've walked out of. You've only had the opportunity to walk out of a small amount of movies.
Yeah, so it's like 50%. 50% of the movies you see, you walk out of.
No, or I fall asleep. I fall asleep in a lot of movies. But that's not a criticism of the movie every time. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I've fallen asleep during great movies. Like what's the one with the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen? I fell asleep during part of it. I woke up and I'm like, well, this is still a cool movie. I still liked it. And they have that cool car in it. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is so underrated. That was such a cool movie. So much and everything was practical effects. Everything was done well.
When
underrated.
Did it come out?
It's a bunch of extraordinary gentlemen.
No, when did it come out? What year?
When did it come out? Sometime in the 2000s.
Yeah. Interesting. Wow, another great movie happening in the 2000s.
Well, you're cherry picking good things. That's a bad argument. I need a cherry picking sound effect.
Oh.
It's just going to be the sound of someone plucking one cherry, which doesn't make a lot of noise.
Just like a very
Yeah. More things from the 2000s. Okay, the other movie I walked out of. I think this came out in the 2000s. No, it couldn't.
What movie?
We'll tell you.
It's a shitty art house movie called Jerry, Gerry, and it's an indie movie that stars Matt Damon and like Casey Affleck is in it, right? And
yeah, I know. We both were like, oh.
Yeah. The movie starts out, I swear to God, with a 10-minute in real time. 10 minutes. These two driving through the desert, not talking to each other. So it's 10 minutes of bullshit.
That's real life.
Oh man, it pissed me off so much.
Just like the real life, bro.
I was with this artsy friend who was into like shitty independent movies, and I'm sitting next to him in the theater, and that 10-minute scene is followed by another 20 minutes of them walking around in a desert, and without saying anything to each other, and then they split off, so it's impossible for them to have
at least they didn't lose their car like, dude, where's my car? Do you want everything to be all fast-paced and fucking right to the point like that movie?
Fucking Tom Hanks didn't have anyone to talk to, and he still talked to himself at least. He talked to a fucking volleyball. That was entertaining. These dipshits are just walking around in the desert. Nothing to see, nothing to listen to. It's just garbage. And I turned to my friend and I said, listen, man, I know you really want to see this movie. I will not watch another second of this bullshit. I'm going to go home.
Yeah.
Text me when you're done and I'll come pick you up. But I will not watch this fucking movie. And I walked out. That was the one of the other movies I walked out. Yeah.
Jerry.
Do you remember the third one?
I know what I'm getting you for your birthday. When's your birthday again? Sorry.
It's
He's
January
ageless.
1st. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Just
Do you remember the third movie?
Late birthday present.
The third? No, I don't remember. It happened recently, I believe. Oh, The Notebook. I walked out just before the end of The Notebook because the date I was with, I was so proud of this girl. She really wanted to go see The Notebook, and I said, okay, kicking and screaming. I'm like, we got to go see like 4 Godzilla movies and a bunch of action movies and a bunch of horseshit and porn. And she goes, okay, fine. And so
that was the agreement you made. So you would go see The Notebook.
I would go see The Notebook. And so we went to The Notebook, and she turns to me before the movie ends, and she says, hey, can we go outside so no one sees us coming out of the theater before the movie ended? I'm like, yes.
Wow.
Amazing.
I don't think I've seen The Notebook, but like it's one of these movies that every girl is into.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't like it.
It's like Silver Lining Playbook was a terrible movie that everyone thought was so good.
Yeah, I never saw. I got the screener. I always get these screeners. I don't have time to watch.
No, it was fine.
No, it was
I like because they're in like the East Coast. And
well,
it's like,
nothing special because that's what I want to do. I want to sit around and watch movies about unhappy families and unhappy people, and
that's real life. That's real life, bro. That's real life, bro.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's all life is. But just a series of dysfunctional families and mentally disabled people trying to make ends meet with dealing with constant neuroticism and family baggage. That's all life is. That's all you can hope for in life, and that's what movies should depict.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what that movie's about?
Yeah. Oscar opportunities.
And Oscar opportunities for Jennifer Lawrence and dancing.
That's
There are dance numbers in
that
that
hits
movie.
way too close to home. That sounds awful. Like I would watch movies to escape my shitty broken family, and I'm not going to watch another shitty broken family. But which makes it even worse because they're pretending. When the cameras go off, they go home to their awesome lives.
Right.
When the movie ends, I turn around and it continues. That's what's disappointing about that. Did that come out in the 2000s?
No.
Damn.
No, it came out like 5 years ago, not even.
What about MySpace? Wasn't MySpace a thing from the
Yes.
2000s?
Yeah. And Facebook.
Yeah. And Facebook. Oh, shit. MySpace and Facebook.
Remember when
Really?
Facebook,
Yeah.
like you had to like put what college you
Yeah.
were in? Like you couldn't even, it was like an
Yeah.
exclusive club.
At first.
Yeah.
Did you know I never even signed up for my Facebook account? When
So
Facebook
dank.
when Facebook became a thing, everybody was signing me up for it. My fans were. They were just
Oh,
putting in my
no.
email address and signing me up, and I kept saying no and declining, and finally I was getting so many spam messages from Facebook. Hey, do you want to confirm? Do you want to sign up? Do you want to confirm? I thought it would be easier if I just created the account and then turned off notifications so I'd stop getting fucking spam in my inbox.
Yeah.
That's why I created my Facebook account.
That's how the government got you.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah, I remember I signed up for it, then I thought this is stupid, so I deleted it. And when you delete your account, at least back then, they would say, if you ever want your account back, just sign in again.
Yeah, I hate that shit.
Fuck, so it's like I never even actually get the choice to delete it.
Yeah.
No.
I remember for some reason, like when it first came out, accepting like the friend request was like a fun thing, like because
Yeah.
everyone was like trying to find a new place from MySpace, but like for some reason, accepting a friend request was way better than it is now. It's just
it's
like
awful.
very
Now I
people
got to
don't
do a
even know.
background check. Like, who's this fucker?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
and then the worst feeling ever is when I'm adding a new friend and we have a lot of mutual friends. I'm like, fuck. How do you know how are we connected in some fucking way that I didn't know? Now I got to worry about that. Where are we
And
gonna
all
start?
that's great compared to the poke.
Oh yeah, the poke. The poke has fallen out of vogue though. Nobody pokes anymore.
I don't think it's even a feature anymore.
Really?
no,
Is
it's
there anything-
I think it's. I think
It
it's-
is?
I think you can.
I should
poke.
start poking
I
people.
Poke
bet.
me.
You know what? It's really interesting the poke feature on Facebook in the era of #MeToo, because now that might be seen as
Harassment.
as harassment.
Yeah.
yeah, as an unwelcome intrusion or I guess
I would
feel-
argue a more abrasive, unwelcome intrusion would be inviting someone to play Farmville with you.
Oh my gosh, yes. That's the fucking worst. I have disabled and blocked so many apps on Facebook.
Yeah.
In fact, to the point where Facebook finally is like, all right, well, you don't have to disable or block these anymore. You have to opt into them. I'm like, thank you. Because my list of blocked apps is well over 200-300 at this point. I block fucking
Wow,
everything.
you really took the time. So you
People
couldn't just
invite me
scroll
to shit.
past it. You're just like, oh, I'm going to ignore this. No,
Kristen,
you were
here's-
like, I have to block this.
Here's what you have to understand about my fan base. A
Yeah.
lot of them are idiots, and they are constantly inviting me to shit. They're inviting me to shit all the fucking time.
Yeah.
They'll add me as administrators to their events. Oh, Maddox is emceeing this thing. And I just go, all right, I'm MC. I'm canceling the event.
And so this is all for the case that the 2000s
2000s suck.
were bad. yeah?
Garbage.
So you're sitting here agreeing with all this shit.
No, I
So
think.
you support Candy Crush and Lil Wayne and all this shit from the 2000s?
Yeah, I play Candy Crush.
Oh, all right.
Candy Crush
As long as
sucks.
you're not invited.
That company sucks. That King's, I think, what's the name of the Candy Crush company? It's like King something.
King something,
King
yeah.
Games or something. That company sucks. So they stole Candy Crush from a small-time developer and then like threatened to sue the developer for the game that they took from them.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
That's
garbage.
messed up.
Yeah, and then there's
Still
all these
fun.
stories with these huge games like Angry Birds. Same thing too. There was Angry Birds was
Angry Birds. Forgot
I
about
still
that
play
one.
that. I was playing it this morning.
What?
It's
gosh.
the only game I enjoy. It's like side scrolling. That's all I understand.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
I didn't
even
even know that game was still out. Did you watch the movie?
No.
Man.
I'm strictly
You're the fan base. You're like the
Yeah.
one remaining fan base, and you didn't even see that movie.
Exactly.
Wow, no one must have saw it.
I was too busy playing. See, I like playing the game. I'm not into like
Watching
a movie about it.
Mm.
I'm the real deal.
You know what I miss from the 2000s? YouTube, when it was just YouTube.
I agree.
It
Back
was
when-
owned,
oh, wait.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Back
before
when
Google.
1,000 views was 1,000 fucking views.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
1,000
Dude.
friends.
Yeah. I went back and watched all my old YouTube videos
Yeah.
recently from like 2008, 2009. It was just like a wild ride. Like the
Yeah.
comments, people are like actually engaging
Yeah.
in the comments. Like some people had gotten in an argument in the comments, but it was all like well thought out and kind of long. Well, it was not.
Wow.
I mean, it was about like Hunger Games, but you know.
have a rosy view of the internet.
Yeah.
No, it's the
Yeah.
old times. Those are
It
the
was not- it was
2000s.
Still the
Yeah.
internet. Though.
Yeah, not anymore. I played this game for a while. There was definitely a tipping point on YouTube I think it was around 2008 where everything became toxic. All the comments, the community, everything became so bad. And I played this game where I would just pull up a random video. I was, with some friends or whatever. I'd say, look, let's just pull up a random video, look through the comments, and see how long it takes before you read the N-word. And so we tried to challenge ourselves to find more and more, innocuous videos. I went to the National Geographic, and there was a documentary about dung beetles. And it was just a very dry, short, 3-minute clip. Like the third comment down. N-word, 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 N-word. I'm like, why?
Because they wanted to trigger people like you who would actually care and then get in an argument with them.
It wasn't even that. It's just like, what is the context? Why are you just saying this word?
Yeah.
What's the why do you get off so hard on commenting the N-word on a dung beetle video?
Right. But I would say, okay, so maybe like people on the internet making comments on the internet, not always, like, kind of always the worst, but people creating that content in the 2000s were like all a bunch of like kids and young people who didn't know what the heck they were doing and just creating cool stuff. And
I was not.
It was awesome. Okay, young people and let's say young at heart who were hip to the YouTube, and it was so awesome just watching videos. Like you could make friends easy, and it was fine. It was like now you have to be a vlogger and 19 years old with blonde hair.
It's too easy now to be like something. Like I had a camcorder that we would film with as a kid, and to edit it, we would like pause it and rewind it, and then have to refilm. So you'd have like clips in the middle of me playing soccer and the sketch that I was trying to do around it. It never made sense.
Yeah.
But that was like amazing because I didn't have anywhere to edit them, and I miss that shit.
When I first started out my YouTube videos back in, I was originally going to do it in 2006. I took like a 2-year break because I was working on this show for Spike. They really liked the title of my show. It was called The Best Show in the Universe. I'm sitting in this room with Spike, and we're trying to come up with this name for a show I was working on. And I was telling them that I was working on this YouTube channel called The Best Show in the Universe on my channel. They said, What? What is that name? We love it. And so they wanted to use that name. It basically tied up the name for like 2 years. So eventually, when I finally did launch my channel in 2008, I originally started recording and uploading my videos with a tape recorder. It was a videotape camera. Yeah. And so it was a huge pain in the ass. That whole editing process, just ingesting the media took upwards of an hour just to copy it from the camera, the tape, because it had to play in real time. And then record it. Basically, it was recording it into Premiere. It was such an arduous process.
Dude,
that's another thing that sucked from the 2000s.
No, I would say
media.
That means the only people uploading videos were people that were actually dedicated. Not any old Yahoo could go upload a stupid video. You wouldn't take all that time to upload a video of you being like, today my Starbucks barista said this and blah, 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 2 million views. No, you really had to.
Yeah. I'll give you that.
Thank you.
What, Rucka?
No, back then vlogs were just, today my Starbucks barista did this.
No, but they were like
now vloggers run around and get into action.
Yeah, but you're just...
What, like...
yeah, like that dipshit who just got banned for doing a fake acid attack. Did you see that UK? No. There's a YouTuber, just happened to... I covered it on my news program, which, by the way, guys, if you guys haven't checked it out, I'm doing a news program live every Friday on my main channel.
Ooh.
And so this is my headlining story. This YouTuber in the UK was running around, had 660,000 subscribers, was taking, water and throwing it in people's faces and saying, aha, acid attack, or pretending like it was an acid attack and then just running off. Even if it's just water, having a stranger do that to you is fucked because you don't know what it is. You don't know if there's like pee or spit in the water or what was in it before or what it could actually be acid. And I looked into it, and there was over 450 acid attacks in 2016 in the UK alone. So this is a real threat. This is a real thing. Anyway, YouTube deleted his account. These are the vloggers we have today. Contrast,
that's more of a prank channel. That's not really a vlogger.
No, but there's one and the same. At this point,
They all suck.
Yeah,
okay.
They're all...
But
sucks.
Point is, back then, it was just talking to the camera. That was vlogging.
It was
called
weird.
Vlogging.
It was weird to for your high school friends to talk to you and be like, why are you just look? It was weird to tell people that I made videos on the internet and looked at the camera by myself in a room. Yeah. And now if you don't do that, it's not normal.
It's shameful.
It's weird.
Yeah. It's like the reverse masturbation.
Yeah, I do
What?
that.
Like how the stigma. The stigma. Okay. Do the math, guys. It made sense. Do the math. You'll get it upon your third listening to the show, which all our fans do. They listen to the show
multiple times.
Yes. So the vlogging thing, though, I just read an amazing statistic about YouTube.
Yeah.
Every minute there are 400 hours of content uploaded to YouTube. Wait, is that right? 400?
Unfortunately, probably.
Yeah, there's 400 hours of content uploaded to YouTube every minute.
Wow.
Which is 24,000 hours per hour. So if every person just wanted to watch 1 hour of that content, that's 24,000 people per hour would have to watch the content just to ingest 1 hour's worth of content on YouTube.
Crazy.
In a day, that's 576,000 hours. So 500,000 people at 1 hour per day would have to spend their entire time just watching YouTube videos just to see it all. There is way too much content. People need to, you know what? I would kiss the feet of the next cell phone manufacturer who made a cell phone who said, you know what? Fuck video. You can't record video anymore. You're done. No more video. We're going to cap
so
you.
marketable. Why haven't you done that?
Sounds like the 2000s were better then.
Damn it.
Oh, I forget. Am I supposed to, if I agree with something, am I supposed to use it triggered?
No, if you agree with something, a ding like you
Okay,
did.
great.
Yeah, you're
great.
good. Yeah, actually, that's a good point, Raka. That's a point in your favor.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. No,
I'm just
I know
saying
what you're just
I was
saying.
really busy in the 2000s living my life.
Oh, yeah?
A lot more busy living my life than trying to record myself living my life. Gonna ding myself on that one.
Okay. You're allowed to ding yourself. Look, what was so exciting that you were living your life in the 2000s? I mean, your entire career now exists because of technology and things that exist today.
No, that happened in the 2000s. The late 2000s was when YouTube became a thing. I started making videos. I had a video class in high school. It was like the first time we were figuring out how to like upload this content to YouTube. It was so exciting. It was uncharted territory. The vloggers were, yeah, sure, but they were like it was just so like rough and like rugged and like it was just like the wild west of the internet.
Yeah.
There was so much potential. Now there's a formula. Now you got to be a Jake Paul looking act-alike in order to find real success.
I will say this though, there were a lot of YouTube stars who broke out in the 2000s who made huge names for themselves but have nothing to show for it because they made all of their views and got their names before YouTube was monetized. And now that YouTube is monetized, now those people are able to build sustainable, thriving careers making content. Whereas in the 2000s, it was just like, well, you had a hit video and South Park is making fun of you now. Remember that when South Park was joking about that?
Yes, but there were so many more opportunities because there was less content. So it was like when you had that viral video, like you got opportunities from that. Now, if you squandered those opportunities,
that's your fault.
That's on you. Nowadays, it's like you can have a viral video that gets millions of views and literally nothing comes of it. No one contacts you. It can be, or you can create a video that's really good, technically really nice, like looks good, catchy, and you get like 100,000 views maybe, and nothing comes of it.
Yeah,
it doesn't go viral. Whereas in the 2000s, it would have been.
I'll give you that.
Exactly.
Well, guys, speaking of squandered opportunities, don't squander your chance to vote on this week's debate. It's at madcastmedia.com. Go to Madcast Media. The voicemail number is also on the website. Call in, leave us a voicemail, which we'll be playing in just a minute. But before we do that, Rucka, do you have a wrap-up for us?
Oh, yeah. God, the second week in a row, I got nothing. But which, by nothing, I mean, hey, no, shh. Osama bin Laden once said, look back at the good old days and forget the bad times. Let's focus on the positive. Thank you.
It's a Rucka wrap-up.
Oh, my gosh.
What just happened?
No. What are you even saying, man? He never even said that. Wow, what an inspirational man.
How would we know? How would we know?
How do we know? How do we know?
Yeah.
We just know what they tell us he said.
Yeah. We don't know.
Bullshit Factory Rucka.
Don't know.
Guys, we got some headlines with Mikey Bolts coming up in just a minute, but we should get to the results from last week's debate. Last week we debated what sucked most about the 90s, and we had a 4-way debate like we did this week.
Yep.
Rucka came in dead last with flannel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
In third place
You would agree
was...
with me coming in last?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Flannel's awesome, right?
Awesome.
Yeah.
I wear it all the time. I can't believe I'm not wearing it right now.
Great. It's great. Our guest last week, Caitlin Hall, said she liked to wear flannel. She liked to tie it around her waist to hide her camel toe. And she said it like that. Yeah. Yeah, it's her thing. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Caitlin.
Our gay guest.
Yeah. Flannel's great. So anyway, dead last, appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
Then followed by Caitlin's pick of shitty sitcoms. Mm-hmm. Shitty sitcoms from the 90s. Followed by Alan Denton's pick of AOL. Second place. But the number one worst thing about the 90s, with 86% of the vote, was boy bands. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Wrong. Yes. What do you mean wrong?
Trigger.
Wait, you, Kristen, you and Rucka, big boy band fans.
Big
Yep.
fans.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I wasn't here last week because I liked probably all those things
Of course. Mikey.
firmly.
Mhm.
I wanted to be in a boy band, and I still should be in a boy band.
Oh,
In 2018,
don't we all? Honestly, I
I'm gonna
think
release
we
my
all
single
wanted
on
to
this
be.
podcast, whether Maddox likes it or not.
Yes.
Mikey, if you were from the 90s, a fuckboy early on, early, you're a pioneer in fuckboyery.
I was born right at the beginning of it.
Boy fuckery.
Boy fuckery is
Boy
what
fuckery.
created
Uh-huh.
this fuckboy.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, let's get to the voicemail. I got a bunch this week. This one's an interesting call. It's a guy who auditioned for a part that he didn't want based on my book, and he got it. Listen to this.
Hey, Maddox, I'm just going to let it know that I'm really disappointed in you. Because, you see, I am what one would consider an amateur thespian, and I auditioned for a play that I really did not want to get a part in. From an excerpt from your play, from your book, Fuck Whales, I used an excerpt from Fuck the Eighth Amendment to audition for this show, expecting to not get a part in it, to just be like, well, gee, I'm just gonna waste this person's time. And you know what? Because I used this audition from Fuck the Eighth Amendment, I got a call back from the lead.
Hey.
So I am explicitly blaming you for this, Maddox. Fuck you, I did not want a part in this show at all, and now here I am with a callback for the lead. Rucka, I love you, you are my hero. I have been listening to you since the 10th grade of high school. Kisher Pari, have a nice day, Maddox. Also, fuck you. Mikey Bolt, you're a hero. Goodbye.
You know what? That guy right at the end, only the Armenians will know this, but he actually said something in Armenian. Did you guys pick that up? He said Kisher Pari. Like good evening or good night. Yeah.
The 10th grade of high school, he says. Oh, well,
Yeah.
well, I don't know how old he is now. That could have been like last year.
No. My book just came out, so it could have been last year. Anyway, the Fuck the Eighth Amendment is the cruel and unusual punishment amendment. I want to repeal that shit. I think punishments should be very unusual.
Yeah.
I think the more
I think
unusual,
so.
the better. Why deprive executioners of their ability to express themselves creatively? We allow everyone else to express themselves in society, but when it comes to executions, you got to be boring.
Yeah.
You got to be routine.
Make it
Yeah, it
simple.
is weird.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
It's
Like,
not
you
weird.
gotta like sit them in the chair and like have like a room full of people paying attention and then inject them, and like if you fuck it up, then it doesn't count. or
Yeah, and who
something. It's,
decides
like, weird?
what's cruel? I mean, look, you can make an argument for making executions not be cruel, but unusual? That's unusual.
Hmm.
Why? Who decides what's a normal execution? A firing squad? Oh, wait,
Well-
you're going to get 10 people to kill me instead of just one? That's weird.
A firing squad sounds the worst. You have no
Yeah.
idea where the bullets are going to hit you first.
Yeah. Actually, I heard that with a firing squad, they give one person real bullets and the rest of them blanks, so no one has to live with the guilt and repercussions of knowing that they're the person who killed.
Or
the
they all do,
prisoner.
not having been the one to kill him.
No, that's not the case. They all, 9 of
you
them get
don't-
blanks and one of them get
Yes,
the real.
but they all could feel guilty thinking they might have been
I
the
see
one
what you're
who
saying.
killed
Yeah,
him.
yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
We-
I think it's the punishment can't be cruel and unusual. It's not necessarily that execution can't be necessary.
Yeah, it's
Well,
punishment.
the punishment should be unusual. I'm a big fan of unusual punishment.
Sure.
Here's a voicemail from the Bad Hombre. Listen to this.
Hey, Maddox, you fucking cabron. So, man, I was watching this video on this website called Video Inc. by some guy named James Creech, I think his name is.
Mm-hmm.
So he had this guy named George on his show. I don't know if
What?
you ever heard of this asshole. He was pretty pretentious and obnoxious, if you ask me. But yeah, this asshole pretty much sounded like you, man.
Oh.
Anyways, I love your extra show. I love everything you guys do. Rucka, you should fucking chill every now and then. Mikey, where the fuck are you? You guys have a great day.
Bad hombre. Yeah, this. I'll have to look into this. It's,
Yeah, you got a doppelganger
Video
or
Inc.,
something.
yeah. James Creech did an interview with some guy who sounds like me. I should look into that. Anyway, here's another voicemail. So last week, Kristen, I want to get your thoughts on this.
Okay.
Last week, near the tail end of the episode, Rucka talked about how some guy saved someone's life in a Whole Foods and then got a banquet thrown for him and a $300 reward. And it was a huge wow, Rucka. Well, hold on, buddy.
Since when do you get to keep talking when you hear?
Don't wear it out because we got a shit ton of voicemail.
It was Plum Market.
Oh, Oh, excuse me.
Okay, Kristen and Mikey.
Yeah.
So my friend is working as a barista in a expensive supermarket. You know how they have the coffee joints so that the housewives can get caffeinated before they buy a bunch of overpriced foods?
In between games
Cucumber
of Angry
water.
Birds. Yes, go on.
Yes. Should I tell this story or does the peanut gallery have... All right. An old, seemingly rich man passes out in the supermarket and passes out hard. My friend, knowledgeable in the way of CPR, rushes over and saves the man's life. The paramedics say, if we would have been here 1 second later, if you had not kissed this man and pumped his chest right when you did, he'd be dead. I mean, he was fucked.
Wow.
The man was so thankful that he threw like a banquet, I think, for my friend, and like the city, you know, I mean, they got nothing better to do over there in the suburbs. They held like a special celebration event. The local news was there to interview everyone, and everyone was so thankful. And this man who had his life extended, he thanked my friend by giving him $300.
Wow.
What's your reaction, Mikey? Not that much money.
Not that much money.
Yeah, it's a weird.
think it's not enough?
It's weird.
It's weird. It'd be
weird.
better to just give him nothing, right?
Yeah.
To just thank him and be his friend, but
Yeah.
you don't have, buy him dinner, but like to hand him $300 and like let everyone know you're doing it is kind of weird.
Yeah,
it's-
well, here's something weird. We got a caller calling in to call you out, Rucka. Listen to this guy.
right, let's
I don't
see
know.
it.
I don't know what he knows about saving lives, but listen to this.
I used to work as a lifeguard for a major amusement park a while ago when I was younger, and we were making $6.25 an hour to guard life. So I don't know if $300 is worth saving one life, but just a little food for thought. They had us working like 10-hour days, 6 days a week. I was like 18 at the time, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, $6.25 was the minimum wage. So they had us working long hours out in the sun all day, watching hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people just pour through, your line of sight every day. So,
Wow.
food for thought. Also, punch 8 Nazis.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I used to live in fucking Mumbai where $300 could buy you a fucking castle. That's not the point. The guy's working at a job where the job is to look at people swim in something that can kill them. This is like a Maddox style article right here. You jump into a pool full of a substance that can drown you. You are swimming in something that can kill you. What's the deal with swimming? Okay, so a lifeguard is there to make sure that no dumbass chokes on the fucking water that they are they are fucking inhaling and splashing around in for hours on end.
The chunky
and
water.
His job is there to make sure that nobody chokes on the water and to get the water out if they start to drown.
Yeah.
That is not the job of a barista at Plum Market.
Oh, I see. So in conclusion,
Yeah.
$300 is not enough for somebody saving one life, whereas $6.25 an hour is for saving hundreds of thousands.
It's the job
potentially.
you signed up for, but just passing out in the middle of Plum Market, there's no lifeguard on duty.
So so for anyone listening right now, if you're listening, read between the lines. Rucka's saying, "Don't thank firefighters." That's what
Firefighters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Because that's what their job. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, here's another caller.
right.
Here's another caller talking about another potential reward he could have gotten for saving that life. Listen to this.
Rucka, you don't get it, do you? When you save a life, it's not about the money.
No, it's
It's about
not.
the pussy you're gonna get after you slide up to a girl and say,
Yeah.
"Hey, I saved lives." Oh fuck! God damn it! I fuck these calls up every day.
Now that would be a potential mating opportunity. However, the hero in question happens to be a tax-paying member of the gay community.
Interesting.
Oh.
What is the tax-paying part of that?
I'm
Since it has
just
to do with
a
anything?
member of society. You know,
okay.
if anyone out there thinks gays are second-class citizens, that's not our
they're paying
opinion.
the taxes. I got several callers, Rucka, about your weird
Hmm?
interpretation of what CPR is. Like, they're not just making out and like.
Listen, have I claimed to know how CPR works? I was
No.
the one saying we should all learn how to do it, but they don't teach us that shit.
Yes, they do.
They teach
I
us
learned it
about.
in
They teach
high
us.
school.
I didn't. They taught me about the planets.
Kristen, you got
I learned how to do CPR, but I think it was because I was a licensed babysitter.
babysitter.
Licensed babysitter.
Like I had to get a certificate.
So if you saved the baby's life and you got $300, you'd be like, "Fuck you." Would you be upset?
No, I'd be thrilled. Are you kidding me?
It'd be
All
thrilling.
right. Again-
And Mikey, did you learn CPR? In high
I
school?
did, but it was never something you'd ever want to use, and I think everybody would 99% of people would freeze if they had to use it. I think holding up a certificate that says that, because I was like working with like kids at a gym and I had to have that,
Yeah.
but that certificate meant nothing. Like I was like, if I'm ever put in this position, I'm fucked.
I bet you would know, Mikey. It would be muscle memory. So all three of us were taught in school, and then Rucka, with his Value Brand high school he went to, didn't get any CPR. Well, this guy called in again about some of the CPR stuff. He actually had a few other points because all my fans shit on me for saying that cars get their oil change every 30,000 miles. And I got a ton of mechanics calling in defending me. Listen to this guy.
Hey, Maddox. 4 points. 1, Alan and Caitlin were amazing guests. Great show this week.
Right.
2, there's Castrol makes an oil that lasts 36,000 miles. It's called Hyperon. They use it in big rigs.
Yep.
So there actually is an oil that you can change every 30,000 miles. 3, the 3,000-mile oil change is one of the biggest scams that are in car manufacturers today. And 4, you need to get Rucka some CPR classes because he's going to be the next big scandal. He's going to be out there grabbing tits and sucking face with these women that drop and need CPR, get him out of $1,000 a head. So get him some classes and maybe learn him something that's more than just hugging people and fucking making out with them while they're laying on the floor dying. So, that's good, Maddox.
Can you imagine Rucka in Plum Market, like, trying to do CPR and the paramedics arrive? It's like, dude, is your tongue in their throat? Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know.
Can I just say, I'm surprised, maybe someone called in and said this, but it was my understanding that they say you're not supposed to do the mouth-to-mouth resuscitation part of CPR
Not anymore, yeah.
Yeah, it's just the chest compression.
Chest compression, yeah.
I don't know if he did the mouth-to-mouth, but this was, again, like 2009, 2010. I don't remember exactly.
So a
when.
man's life was saved in the 2000s, you're saying?
Unless it was 2010 by then. I don't remember exactly.
Even still, part of that decade.
But
No.
Rucka's argument is $300 wasn't enough.
2010 is not part of the 2000s.
No, it's not. It's not.
What? You don't think so?
No, because it would go 2000 to 09.
Might have been
Yeah,
2011.
We got a call.
To clear this up.
We got a voicemail?
Yeah, that's clearly in the wrong decade. We got another voicemail from Weird Matthew McConaughey. He wanted to talk about, we talked about Married with Children as being one of the sitcoms from the 90s that was awesome and edgy and raw. I remember it being huge, but here's what Weird Matthew says. Listen to this.
Here's a little fun fact about Married with Children as well. I think they stayed on their entire run of their series, like many seasons. And I don't think they ever broke the top 20 for their time slot or something like that. Something weird where they were like a sleeper of sleeper hits.
So now you know. Very interesting. I always thought that show was much bigger, but I guess not. Married with Children was
It was a very big hit.
yeah, right? It was on for years and years. Which, you know what sucks about that series? This is a meta thing that sucks about the series, but when it came out on DVD and Blu-ray, they changed the intro music because they couldn't license that song.
Seriously?
Yeah, the Frank Sinatra song.
Wow.
And it's like this weird kind of like stock music version that they went with. They didn't even come close. It's super jarring.
That is bizarre.
To hear the new music. It sucks. And then we got this last voicemail. Then we got to wrap up the voicemail, and then we'll get to some quick news headlines with Mikey Bolts. But here's one last one. This is a debate suggestion from a listener named Brody. Listen to this.
Hey, it's Brody. Huge fan of the show. You don't have to play this on your show, even though you probably won't. But I just thought a good idea for a debate would be the greatest fucking debate that's been going on for years and years. It's fucking circumcised versus uncircumcised. Do with it what you will. Signing out.
Yeah, that's a great debate topic.
Well, feel free to not invite me for that one.
Kristen, you're invited.
No, feel free to not.
Yeah, bring your penis.
Yeah. Isn't that a raging debate among women and I guess gay guys too, right? Circumcised versus uncircumcised? Right?
Women and gay guys?
I guess straight guys don't give a shit.
I mean, we're the ones getting circumcised.
Yeah, I feel like you should have a very vested interest in the outcome of this debate, in this topic.
I don't have a choice. I'm a fucking baby. My parents made that decision for me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
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 Probably it's time to just do away with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Okay.
I know like Dr. Drew, the medical voice of our time, another 2000s product.
Yes, correct.
Actually, more of a 90s. But he wrong. Yeah, you want to take me on this? Okay.
No, go.
Dr. Phil's the worst
why
thing
am
that
I
happened
wong?
in the 2000s.
Why am I wrong? Hold on, Kristen. Why,
Who are you talking
why
about
wrong?
again?
Dr. Drew.
Yeah, Dr. Drew. He was in the Mary-Kate and Ashley movie, which was a 2000s movie.
Oh, is that what Dr. Drew is from? Oh, you're right. He was in that Mary-Kate and Ashley movie.
Thank you.
Good
Continue.
point.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I was wondering where I knew him from.
Gotcha.
He would talk about like circumcision being cleaner. Like it cleans your dick or something like that. Don't laugh at me.
Science
I'm
corner
just
with
passing
Rucka.
it along.
It's a Rucka wrap-up.
I'm going to go ahead and just jump in and say, I feel like men, when you have this debate, like, I'm not going to weigh in because, like, your body, your choice.
Wow.
It's not our choice.
It's not our choice.
yeah.
Maybe it should be.
decision for
Maybe it
us.
should be. It's your body.
I'm not disagreeing, but yeah, but by the time I even know I have a penis, it's way too late. It's been years since my shit. Wait, you're telling me, Mom? By the way, parents never tell you as a kid that, hey, you used to have other shit on your dick, and then we got rid of it. And then you just wake up one day, and then the first time you're like coming across porn, you're like, whoa! What the fuck is that weird looking penis? Why does mine not look like that? And then you're like, oh my God. And then you go down this rabbit hole of, holy shit, this is a whole fucking penis conspiracy. Where, anyway, we'll get into it. We'll get into it one of these days. Anyway, Mikey, do you have some quick news headlines for us?
Yes, I do. According to BBC News, white noise video on YouTube hit by 5 copyright claims.
Wow.
Oh, I heard about this.
A musician who made a 10-hour-long video of continuous white noise, indistinct electronic hissing, has said 5 copyright infringement claims have been made against him. Sebastian Tomchak, who is based in Australia, said he made the video in 2015 and uploaded it to YouTube. The claimants accusing him of infringement include publishers of white noise intended for sleep therapy. I will be disputing these claims, he told the BBC.
Yeah, very hotly contested copyright dispute. So for those who don't know, white noise is basically the sound of, rain, fans running, air conditioners, the droning of a Starship Enterprise. That could be considered white noise. Any kind of droning noises. My voice right now could be considered white noise the way I'm droning on. But that's white noise. And it's really interesting that I guess if you created a 10-hour clip of just white noise from your TV, static, that would be copyright protected. And anyone else who uploaded any kind of static would then get a copyright claim against them. I don't think that you should be able to copyright static. I also don't think you should be able to copyright pictures of famous paintings, like the Mona Lisa and Picasso. And I came to that conclusion one time because I was in the Musée d'Orsay in Paris, which is where they have a lot of famous Picassos. And I was sitting there taking pictures, against the rules, don't take pictures, but I was taking pictures of the Picassos.
Dang,
and then at one point, I'm a bad boy.
Wow.
It said no photos. I said, yeah, right. And so I took out my camera and I'm taking photos of these Picassos.
You're a role model.
Yeah.
You're aware of that, right?
Yeah, well, I wear a leather jacket and I go to the Museum of d'Orsay and I take photos that I shouldn't. So I took a photo of it and I thought to myself, my God, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? I'm taking a photo of a famous painting that is everywhere on the internet. I thought, what am I going to ever do with this photo? And that's when I realized, I came to the conclusion that photos of famous paintings should be copyright free, just by default. I don't care how awesome of a photographer you think you are. Your photo's not unique. It's the painting that people care about, not your ability to press a shutter button, you dipshits. Anyway, this is a mini rant. Thank you, Mikey. Good story. Anything else?
One more
I got
thing.
whiplash there.
That was good. That was good. And you should. I agree, Maddox. Be able to take pictures. You have a good eye. But, all right. So, I don't know if you heard this. Jack in the Box, they teamed up with Snoop Dogg's cannabis company. And starting January 18th, the fast food chain will offer the Merry Munchie meal at select locations in SoCal for a limited time. Holy shit, I need to go do this then. The special combo box includes 2 tacos, 5 mini churros, 3 crispy chicken strips, a half serving of curly fries, a half serving of regular fries, and a small soft drink, plus it will only cost $4.20.
You just read an ad.
And for a limited time, you and your friends.
The fuck kind of news is this?
I'm going to guess Taco Bell was not available for this brand endorsement because Jack in the Box? Okay, sure. But
Merry Munchie meal.
Taco
Bell should have jumped on that.
They love stoners. This is all just like stoner pandering.
Yeah. Who does?
Especially Taco Bell and Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
They love stoners.
Taco Bell has a great sense of humor. Like, and they're always kind of like winking at you, like, come out for the 4th meal late at night when you're hungry. Late night munchies, that was their hook. But Jack in the Box, they just completely don't give a shit about like what the community thinks. You know?
Their food quality.
Right. Well, I don't know.
I'd agree with that.
I haven't eaten fast food since moving to Los Angeles.
Hey.
And Jack in the Box only exists out here because I'm not only a healthy eater, but also anorexic. But Jack in the Box, their commercials are funny. Like, you got like the CEO on the radio. Don't they used to be me? The guy he's all like, hey guys, this is Jack. I don't remember the rest of it.
Yeah, well, great, but very fun. Great example.
You watch a lot of commercials. Everything we've talked about, you're like, oh yeah, remember the commercial for this? Remember? The
anti-drug PSAs from the 2000s. I'm really a commercial. But by the way, okay, I got a. Is it just me or everyone for you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You know how whenever you your DVR something, if you ever, I know everyone's like, no one has cable anymore, but
no.
If you could ever skip over ads, you do.
Sure.
Right?
Absolutely.
But if I gave you like a VHS tape of like some old shit from like the 80s, 90s or 2000s or any time in the past.
Yeah, I'm watching that shit.
You're watching those commercials you're skipping over them today, but you can't wait to watch a commercial from 10 years ago.
Yeah, because they're weird.
Yeah.
What do you mean they're weird? They're weird now. You're just not watching them.
No, the old commercials are weird.
How they're not weirder then than they are now?
They're weirder now because of our cultural point of view has shifted. Like the things that were kind of common in the 80s, like call now, don't forget, here's the 800 number, free shipping, value. Like we don't do the commercials have changed. I think that that it's an interesting time capsule into a different era.
True.
Yeah. Hey, there we go. Anyway, Mikey, any other stories or?
No, I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right, Mikey, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The Mikey News Bolts.
Yeah.
Kristen, thank you so much for coming on the show. Is there anything you'd like to plug before we go? And that you're working on lately? Okay,
I just directed a short film and a music video for a YouTuber, Bonnie Von Duyke. She's a violinist.
Hey.
If you like The Walking Dead, she covered The Walking Dead theme, and she's incredible. And we put together a pretty great video. So you can check that out.
Very cool. We'll link to it. Kristen Brancaccio, thank you so much for coming on the show. Welcome back, the Sultan of Swag, Mikey Bolts.
Hey.
And thank you, as always, to the Maharaja of Moderation, Rucka Ali.
Yeah.
But most of all, you're welcome.
You know, Rucka, your story about your friend saving that old man, I gotta say, I understand where you're coming from. My uncle went through the same thing. He was a Domino's pizza delivery guy in like the 80s, and he went, and no shit, he found John Wayne sucking on a dick, and he was choking. So he went out, he saved his life, and pulled that dick right out, and he gave him mouth-to-mouth, he revived him, and all he got in return was some fucking goddamn Chuck E. Cheese tokens for his efforts. I mean, where's the justice in this world?
Yeah.
I mean, you figured he would have gotten at least something better. Anyway, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
See?
Yeah. No $300. And then we got this one. A big fan calling into the show. Listen to this.
Hey, Lord Maddox. First time caller, long time listener. Love the show.
Hey there. Don't forget to subscribe to Madcast shows on iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app. Okay, bye. Madcast Media Network.